Hello again, and I'm here with yet another Figma review, and this is the third Attack on Titan Figma release, and it's Eren Jaeger himself. Both Mikasa and Armin have been released so far. Mikasa is a full release, and Armin was a 2014 Winter Wonder Festival exclusive. You can check out my reviews of both Armin and Mikasa by clicking the annotations from the links in the description, or just by checking out my channel. So far, Eren is shaping up to be on par or better than what we've seen from these two figures, so let's check it out and see how it compares. I don't really get the choice of colour for the Eren box. Armin's hair is yellow, maroon has a Shingeki vibe to it, but the blue I really don't understand. But anyway, let's bust this open and check out what we've got inside. The DI stage segment is the same colour blue as the box. A quick look through the clear inner packaging, and what we have is essentially the same as the last two figures. As well as the figure, there are two alternate expressions, two effect parts, the 3D maneuver gear, and two blades. Around on the back in this rear section there's two wires, a smoke trail, and the cervicore mantle. So the same set of accessories you get with Mikasa and Armin. Opening it up further, and as usual in the bottom of the box is the clear resealable bag. A clear bag containing the rack of hands, the base, and the stand, as well as a clear bag with some black string and some clear hooks with string attached to them. The sheet of paper that lists the included parts and shows you how to put everything together. Now let's check out the figure itself. So Eren is the third addition to the Attack on Titan line of Figmas, and seems to be the best looking addition so far. I know I say it every time I review a Figma, but this figure is awesome. They're the best line of small scale anime figures on the market in my opinion, and never fail to deliver. Everything about this figure is great. The sculpt, the proportions, the paint, the detail, all excellent. Eren's costume is perfectly reproduced, including all the details like the jacket, the emblems, straps, and metal plate for the 3D gear. Everything. The matte paint used here looks great, and the colours are spot on and look great too. The facial details look awesome, and this is the best looking default face I've seen on a Figma to date. The hair sculpt is great as well, however you can see through to the neck joint from the bottom, so that can look bad from some low angles. A closer look at some of the details, and those eyes look awesome. The sculpt of the neck as well on this Figma is particularly good, and all the small details like the folds in the clothes, the straps, the belt, the buckles, the leg straps, the boots, they all look awesome. Like on Mikasa and Armin, the cervicore logos on the jacket are exceptionally clear and well executed. These figures all look fantastic, but Eren's awesome facial details and hair sculpt make him stand out as the best looking one so far. Onto the accessories, and here's Eren Jaeger with everything he comes with, so let's run through them quickly. As well as the default face, there's also two alternate expressions. As well as the default fist, there's 8 alternate hands on the rack. Then there's the blades, the 3-dimensional maneuver gear, 2 effect parts, 2 wire anchors, the smoke trail, the cervicore mantle and a clear peg for attaching it, clear hooks, string, and a spare wrist joint. A closer look at some of the accessories, and on the rack of hands there's hands for holding the blades, hands for holding stuff, open hands with the fingers slightly bent, and some open hands with the fingers stretched out. A quick contrast against Armin's hands for interest's sake, and it's interesting to note that the same mold hasn't been used, and Eren's hands are slightly larger and less feminine than Armin's. A nice level of detail. As well as the default determined face, we get a shocked face and an angry face. And just to point out that they've even sculpted some wrinkles between the eyes and the angry face, now that's attention to detail. To swap expressions, you just pull off the front section of the hair, pull off the face, attach the one you want, then pop the hair back on. So there's Eren with his shocked face, and with his angry face. Besides the faces and hands, the accessories are the same as those with Mikasa and Armin. Here's Eren's mantle on the right and Mikasa's one to the left, and you can see they are identical. And I mean completely identical, so posing the 3 characters together with their mantles on could look a little goofy. The smoke trails as well. The one on the right is Eren's, the one on the left is Armin's. Again, completely identical, which is a bit of a bummer. Some variation would have been nice. As the accessories are the same, I'm not going to go through them again, so if you want to see the rest of the accessories in more detail, like the 3D gear, check out my Mikasa review. So that's it for Eren's accessories, so let's check them out in some poses. The articulation on this figure is great, but I found it hard to recreate the salute properly, as the fist couldn't make its way to the chest, but I noticed on the box that the elbow joint is fully visible when bent, which it isn't here. So just pulling out the joint slightly like this gives the elbow joint a greater range of motion. Then you can get the fist closer to the chest, but not really all the way. Next onto quality, and this figure is as good as it gets. The joints are good and strong, there's no mold marks or noticeable seam lines. Paintwork and detailing are amazing, and the logos look fantastic. On my Mikasa, the paint on this section was quite messy, but here it's perfect. The jacket and this section below the belt are made from a flexible material that doesn't restrict articulation, and they even sculpted the sole of the boots. There's nothing really to say negatively about this figure, but if there was a small detail to point out, it will be that the wrist joints are a slightly different color to the hands, but most of the time this isn't really noticeable. The faces and hair of the Attack on Titan Figma are interchangeable, so there's Eren with Armin's face, and Eren with Mikasa's face. Figma heads are also swappable, so like with Mikasa, using Eren's body, you can make your favorite male Figma into Service Corps members. So that's it for my Figma Eren Jaeger review. Another epic figure by Max Factory. Everything about this is perfect, the sculpt, the detail, the paint, and it comes with a great set of accessories. The Attack on Titan Figmas are awesome figures, and Eren is the best one so far. But that's just down to the fact that his faces just look that bit better. But besides that, they're all practically the same figure with just some minor differences. And that there is the main down point of this figure line. There's no variation. It would be nice to see each figure include some figure-specific parts that are unique to the character. But on the flip side, if you're on a budget and can only get one, just choose the character you like the best and you're not really missing out on much by not having the others. But all three together just looks awesome. So Titans beware, 3 of the Figma Service Corps members are out, and Levi is on his way soon. Thanks for watching, and come back again for more Figma reviews. Oh, it's an Eren.